rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, good morning, my beautiful coffee beans. Happy Tuesday, December 16th, and it is cold outside. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and tell us where you're from and how cold it is in your community. a live this afternoon at 4:15 on the Sebastian Rogers case. It is in, must have got lost, is in Queensland, Australia. I just want to send you my condolences, my personal condolences to all of our Australian family on everything that you guys are going through. I just want to say that I'm very, very sorry. I'm actually going to be saying something about your government. So I don't know if you guys are going to get in trouble because, you know, it's so weird. You know, we're from America. We can kind of do and say what we want to. And I hear people are going to jail for speaking their mind online in certain areas of our world. And I'm like just blown away. And people call our country like dictatorship and authoritarian and all this other stuff. So my mind is just blown where some Americans, I blame it on our public education system. I personally do. But good morning. I do want to send you my condolences. I can't imagine what your country is going through after what you guys experienced and witnessed. It was just horrific. And America is here putting our arms around you and praying for you. Just I don't know if that means anything to you, but, you know, we're really, really, really super sorry about everything that goes on in this world that's ugly, you know, that's just truly, truly ugly. So that goes out to all of our Australian family. Eeyore Blue, it's nice to see you. Melanie, nice to see you. Bullhorn Betty is present. Texas woman, let them 66. The Real Me Too, taking her grandson. Hello, grandson. It's nice to see you. Bullhorn Betty loves you. You rock. You rock. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm not hip anymore, but I try to be. Listen to your Grammy. Otherwise, Bullhorn Betty's coming there with a bullhorn. It's nice to see you all. Hello, good morning. Who else? Houston. It's nice to see you, Love Bug. I hope you're doing well. Carmela, good morning, love. Mama, hello. Cynthia, it's nice to see you, Love Bug. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody is staying warm. Holy crap, you guys are making me freeze. Deb Vlogs, it's nice to see you. Another one that's making me just shiver. You know, here from Florida, and what was the temperature this morning? 50-degree weather. If you guys want to throw eggs at your screen, I just want to remind you, you got to clean it up, okay? I'm just saying. Don't be throwing eggs at Betty. Oh, good gracious, guys. You guys are making me go brr. Oh, good Lord. Kentucky. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm just so much for that's what I'm about to start saying, hun. I got some commentary. I don't want you getting in trouble, but my commentary's not gonna be too sweet. I'm just letting you know. But God bless you guys. God bless you, Missy T. It's nice to see you. I went to Bondi Beach Public School. Oh my gosh, you guys are breaking my heart. Like I you know, and starting to see some of the beautiful faces coming out. It's just heartbreaking. It's this whole thing's just in all fairness, it's all just very, very heartbreaking. So I hope you guys really the best, you know, and this is what I'm going to say, you know, and we'll dive into it a little bit deeper, you know, when I get to that aspect, which is going to be one of the first stories we bring up this morning, because I've got Candace and Erica and then Australia, you know, and then Brown University. So you guys are coming up pretty quick. But, you know, it is exactly what you're saying. I mean, hey, Steffers, it's nice to see you, Love Bug. It's exactly what you're saying. Like, you guys got some of the toughest guns. And I didn't even realize that. I remember, what was I talking about? Oh, good gracious. It was a long time ago. Maybe it was the Summer Wells case. I mean, it was that long ago. I remember this. And I remember being hot and heavy. Like, we would stay like 9-10 hours on our channel in a sitting. We would just hang out with each other all day long, right? Those days have changed quite significantly, but we would hang out each other. When we were building this channel, we would hang out here all day long. And I remember one night I couldn't sleep, so I was watching something, and there were some dudes. I mean, they were big dudes, and they had, of course, the accent. But it sounded, to me, some of the Australian accents almost sound English in a way. I can sometimes I can tell 100% that they're Australian, right? But there's other times that they sound to me like English, like British or UK or something. That English, hello, my dear. Type of thing. And so it was a little difficult sometimes, because I've worked with people that have, moved here from Australia, believe it or not. And nice lady and family. It was when I was in my accountant life. But I got on this thing, and there was a bunch of these like 3 knuckleheads on here, and they were just big guys, and they showed their faces. They look like freaking like football players, okay? And they're from Australia. They go, oh yeah, my mate, mate, and stuff like that. And they started getting on this topic of gun laws, and I'm just like, I was dumbfounded. I'm like, you guys don't have guns? They're like, no, mate, no, we're not Americans, mate. Depends on what part of Australia. I guess so, right? But it's like this. Like, we have people from Boston, and it's like, what did you say? The con, you got. Karen's like, Betty, are you picking on me again, lady? She's gonna strangle me when she sees me in Tennessee. She's gonna strangle. No pun intended. Boston just rolled off the tongue. Okay, Karen, it just rolled off the tongue. I'm just saying. I wasn't picking on you. But, I guess it does depend on what side of Australia. But I was actually shocked when they told me, when they told me that there was, they had major gun laws there. I'm ignorant. I don't really pay attention to other countries. I kind of stay in my own lane, But this is a little profound, that's something, because you guys are good people, well, I think we're all civilized people. We're all good people. It's just, I think there is a part of our country that doesn't like those good people, like we are prey to somebody. Little Miss Sharon, it's nice to see you. I'm from Victoria, Australia. Well, God bless you guys. God bless you guys. But I got to tell you, tougher gun laws is it's not the way to go. Because I saw a lot of sitting ducks out there trying to enjoy themselves. And unfortunately, the reality is evil, they strike vulnerabilities. Okay? That's the wonders of being evil. They don't care about laws, and they strike the vulnerable. They find soft targets. So it's like, no matter where you guys go, you're a lot of soft targets. And you guys can't do anything. That one perched himself on a freaking bridge. He could see from all angles. He was in a very, very good position to cause major damage to people. And it looked like he enjoyed what he was doing. He didn't care. And that's what's wrong in this world, is that we have a lot of people that love their families and love human being and love life. And then you got the people that don't. All right. And you see that. You've seen all those beautiful, hundreds, thousands of beautiful people out there enjoying themselves. And it took 2 deranged people, 2 out of all those people out there. All those. I mean, you see people's heads all over the place. It was a packed event. And look at the mayhem out of all those thousands of people there. Look at the mayhem of 2 people. That's what's so scary. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't take many. You can have a lot of people, lots of people moving from all over the place, but it only takes 2 people to wreak havoc. So that's why we're stopping all of the people, right? To prevent the 2, right? And that's what people need to understand, and quit getting so butthurt over it. I'm sorry that happened to you. It's obviously happened to us. We have 9/11. This is happening all over the world. At the end of the day, these people want us dead. They want ethnic cleansing. They want to be the leaders and the rulers of this world. They are sick individuals, and in my opinion, very dangerous. And if we don't do something about it as the world, we're going to have more casualties like this. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. And they want to toughen gun laws to make you guys even more ducks, sitting ducks. It's just unbelievable. I'm just the opposite. You're going to see Betty work because I want bills to where institutions no longer have a right to tell you whether you can carry on their campuses or not. I want bills from the federal government, and I'm going to be working on bills for from the federal government to make sure that we have people that are trained to have guns on on these universities. I'm going to take it out of the universities' hands. I'm going to start working with people to take it out of the universities. The university is no longer going to have control over whether people carry on their campuses or not. I'm sorry. And at the end of the day, I'm going to work very, very, very hard to try to find somebody that will be willing to write a bill to force compliance with these higher education universities. If you're over the age of 18 and you're lawfully allowed to own a gun, you should be able to carry a gun on any and every university, open carry or concealed carry, depending on if you have the correct qualifications and proper licensure. But I think that at this point, we need to quit handcuffing our students and making them sitting ducks on these universities. They have a right to protect themselves. They're over the age of 18. They have a right to make the decisions. They are adults. Whether their parents are taking care of them or not, doesn't matter. They're adults that can make decisions and make proper decisions to carry. I guarantee we start putting people on those campuses with firearms, you're going to find a major decrease in activity on the campuses. Okay? When you blow a bad guy out the front doors instead of allowing him to come in the front doors, you'll start seeing a major change with what's going on with our schools and universities. This is the policies that the Democrats want. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. It's the policies that they want. Why? Because they've been trying to disarm Americans for forever. So they're going to create as many environments for soft targets so they can have as many, and this is how sick they are, as many opportunities as possible to try to take our guns away. Okay? So they're creating the situation, then they're capitalizing on the situation. Okay? It's the Democrat way. If you don't believe it, I'm sorry. If you're a Democrat, again, I'm sorry. You need to be wise. You need to make sure you know what you are really, truly voting for. And we're going to make sure you're force-fed it. So, guys, we're also moving on to another hot topic. You guys know how I feel about Candace Owen. You guys know how I feel about Erica Kirk. I absolutely think Erica Kirk is an amazing woman. I think that what happened to her was disgusting. And for people to call her fake, you guys are pieces of shit. Plain and simple. I don't know of any person that could be so heartless to literally watch the person that they laid down, made 2 babies with, watch his whole entire neck be blown off of his body, and then you tell me her outrage and her pain is fake. Okay? There's something wrong with you. Okay? Trust me, it's not everybody else. It's just you sick people. Okay? I'm saying that. And I'm saying that to all the people. All the people out there. I hope you guys pass this around to the communities. Okay? You guys are sick in the fucking heads. This woman has been through more than your little minds could ever even imagine. And I'm not talking to my audience. I love you guys. And I know you guys are much better people than what we've seen. But that woman has more class and integrity in her little pinky than Candace has in her whole frickin' life. Candace wanted to feel relevant. Erica Kirk wanted it to stop. She made the bitch feel as relevant as possible. But I'm going to tell you right now, I am not a Candace Owens fan. I do not like Candace Owens. Once her career is over, I want her to be sent out to the pastor. I want her to go away and never come back. I don't care what she does. Go live a happy little life with her rich husband and her babies. I don't care at this point. Okay? I do not like Candace Owen. I have no more respect for her. When you as a human being, as a female, Let me school the females in my chat. When you as a female can be so heartless and then sit there and spew that that Charlie Kirk was your friend, and then to do that to his wife, you can take all of that and shove it so far up your ass, it's not even funny. I don't care how unprofessional this rant is, but I don't care about Candace. And thank God for Erica, because Erica showed her more grace than any other person should have. Any other person. I'm not angry with you. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. She thinks I'm angry. I'm not angry with you. I love you. Come give me loves. Come on. Cool. Soothe my heart. Soothe my heart. You heard me saying bad words. She heard me saying bad words. She's like, oops. She's like, oh no, Mom. Oh no, Mommy. Not bad words. Not bad words, Mommy. Sonia doesn't like bad words. I gotta tell you, but Sonia doesn't like bad words. I have to come in here and correct you because you're saying bad words, Mommy. You're saying bad words. So, at the end of the day, apparently they had a good conversation, and Erica apparently gave whatever Candace wanted to shut her freaking mouth. I will never play those games. I will never, ever, ever play those games. You come after me, and I have an opportunity to bring you to my office, I'm serving you with papers, okay? We're going to have a diplomat conversation about shut your freaking mouth, or I'm going to sue you and your rich husband for everything you have, for defamation. That would have been about the results of my conversation. I don't think it would have taken me 4.5 hours to go through all of that. But again, Erica Kirk is more of a woman than I could ever be. And I know that. And I'm perfectly fine admitting that. You know, I am not a perfect woman. I do not strive to be a perfect woman. I strive to be better. I can look up to Erica and say, man, it would be nice to be. I know my mindset's not like that. Can I strive to have my mindset like that? I can. I can try to do whatever I want, but I have to always remember God didn't make mistakes and God made me this way. You know? So I'm just very, very blunt and to the point. And I have to remember that. And I have to remember that, and I have to own it. You know, some people have the nurturing, some people don't, right? Some people have the truth giving. Some people have the strength. Some people, you know, have the words. Everybody has their place in this world, okay? My place is not an Erica Kirk. My place is a Bullhorn Betty, right? That's my place in this world. So that's what I do, and I think I do it well. Again, I really don't think that this should have happened. I think Erica should have served her. I think this should have just played out in court. I think both of them should just, I don't think Erica should ever even acknowledge this woman's existence ever again. She is insignificant. She lied about everything. Nothing she said was truthful. You know how I know it wasn't truthful, guys? Because we're in the true crime genre, and I listened to the horse shit that was coming out of Candace's mouth, and here in the true crime genre, it made no sense. Okay? This lady is a political operative. She is not a true crime person. Okay? And for people to actually be hook, line, and sinker into Candace Owens' bullshit, it is amazing to me. Like, mind-blowing amazing to me how people could really actually be hook, line, and sinker to a woman that's never even looked at freaking police protocol. And all of a sudden, she's the answer. Okay, cupcakes. Okay, cupcakes. I remember even one of my friends that I know personally, he's like, you gotta listen. I'm not listening to that horse shit. It's lies. Well, this kind of, no, it does not. This is the reason why. Blah, 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 blah. And I got so sick and tired of doing all that I'm like, you know what? I'm so sick of educating people. You guys want to be knuckleheads. You want to destroy an innocent woman and say, oh my God, we love Charlie. We are Charlie. And meanwhile, putting a freaking dagger in Erica's back. Give me a break. Give me a break. Cut it out. I'm not even with it. Candace is a miserable, I don't even know. She's a white liberal now. I don't know what to say about Candace Owens, okay? She's turned into a white liberal. What do you want from me? Okay? Don't like her, don't care for her. I think Erica needs to just stand up and be done. You gave her all of your you gave her your time. You gave her more time than anybody in this world would have given her. That's what makes Erica Kirk so wonderful. She's a better woman than most of us are. God bless her for that. But it's time now. You gave her your 5 minutes. Actually, you gave her 4.5 hours. Now it's time to kick the bitch to the curb. Okay, Erica? I know you don't like how I'm speaking, but that's okay. It's time to go ahead and kick rocks, okay? That's what you need to be telling that little white liberal next to you, okay? All right, Cupcake? That's what I would say. I'm just saying, not playing. And also in political news, what do you know? What do you know? Did I just hear that correctly? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, our president, Donald J. Trump, he's no longer going after these people for millions of dollars. You know, remember back, hey, if you guys don't know who this is Crime Stories Obsessed. It's nice to see you, Emma. No, you're not Emma. Why do I always call you Emma? Is somebody because that is anyways, I'm sorry. Crime Stories Obsessed. Here you are. It's nice to see you. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. If you guys don't know who Crime Stories Obsessed is, she's a friend from over the pond. She's a first responder, and she tries as much as she can to thank you. She tries as much as she can to help all of us over here across the pond with our stories and stuff. If you guys have not gone over and subbed up Crime Stories Obsessed, I definitely recommend that you do that immediately. She's great. She's great. And she's sweet. And she's got a sweet voice. And she very rarely cusses. Okay? So if you guys are anti-cuss words, she is definitely the content creator. I think everybody's the content creator. I think I border with the hate channels in my sailor mouth. I tell you what. The stuff that comes out of my mouth some days shock me, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. I just like, hey, did you say that? Oh, I guess I did. I'm watching me say that. There's evidence. I guess there's no denying that. Oops. Oops. Yeah. Oh, good. I did get it right. Okay, good. I'm like, why do I always call you Emma? All right, that makes sense. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to see you. So Donald Trump's no longer playing with media. He's going in to make sure that they don't exist anymore. If you are fake news media, he is done. Okay. BBC, I like BBC. I had producers come from the UK over here, you know, to run a story on me for BBC, you know, and so I'm friendly with BBC, right? But what happened was apparently they altered Donald Trump's speech on January 6th to imply that he riled up the crowd to go breach the Capitol building, which obviously is not true. And it took us a while to realize that, but they altered the speech in an effort to defame Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States of America. I am still scratching my head and wondering, what in the world? Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, there it is. There's the channel right there. And I was scratching my head and I'm like, okay. So we know that he had a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against, was it the Wall Street Journal? Wasn't it just a few months ago? He's no longer going and playing with these people. He wants them done. He wants them absolutely done. Just done. So I think he's actually trying to bankrupt these fake news organizations, these people that are bad actors, you know. I'm sorry, modifying somebody's speech, that's pretty bad. You know, I'm sorry. It's pretty bad. Thank you guys. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I appreciate y'all. And then, of course, we're going to round out before we dive into our true crime. Do we have true crime? Yeah, we got 2 more things that we're going to be diving into, and then we're going to dive into some true crime. This is not going to be all political. I try to get the political up and out of the way at the beginning so we can get moved on, because really when we start talking about true crime, it consumes. We don't have time to go backtrack. So if I'm going to get some political stuff in here or some other breaking news, this is the only time I can get it. And right now we've got a lot of political stuff going on because we're going into Hanukkah, and we have the Middle East that wants to, ethnically cleanse, Jews out of this world. And I'm sorry, anybody that's supporting that crap, you can kiss my ass. I'm just saying. And I don't really care what country wants to come after me for using social media to beat you up, because I'm going to be beating up Australia. No offense from my Australian family, but you guys got some of the dumbest people running your country, okay? When they think that when a war's coming to their shores, they need to be disarming their people, that is a stupid country. Okay, you guys got a lot of stuff coming aboard your shores, and if what happened over the weekend didn't prove that to you, and then your country is still further wanting to disarm you, it's time for you. I don't know if you guys have votes or how it works, but I would be voting just the opposite of the way you've been voting. Okay, it's time to get your rights back, and it's time to quit being sitting ducks over there in Australia. I'm sorry, unless you can start picking up some crocodiles and slinging them at the terrorists, I would say there needs to be a little more coming uppins and coming to Jesus conversations you need to be having with your politicians, because I'm sorry, they're doing y'all wrong. They're doing y'all wrong. You guys can't be doing that to yourselves. We love you. I don't want to see what I saw in Sydney. Okay, at Bondi Beach, I don't ever want to see that again for y'all. Okay, that breaks my heart, because now that we have Twitter or X, that stuff goes live on X, okay, guys? So I got to see the raw footage. It was horrific. And people are like, Betty, why do you want? Because I watch it so you guys don't have to, okay? Yeah, dumber and dumbest of our leaders. Yeah, exactly. And I got to tell you, I watched it. I looked at every little bit of that. I'm looking for anything I can see, anything that maybe somebody missed. It's awful work to do at times. It's awful work to do at times. It's the love of the truth is why I do it, why I subject my brain and my eyes to the crap I watch and see. But crocodiles slinging. Hey, you know what? If they keep taking your guns, you guys are going to have to start thinking out of the box. And I'm saying, we need to start having some croc farms. You know what I'm saying? And you guys need to, when they start getting more than 4 feet or 3 feet, you guys need to go and throw them back in the water. But I'm thinking 3, 4 feet. Yeah, start chucking some freaking crocs, man. And I'm not talking about the shoes. You guys don't know what I'm telling you, if I said what I wanted to say, I think some people you guys don't even want to hear what I was just saying. It is so bigoted. It's not even funny. It really is. But it's funny. It's funny bigoted, but it's still bigoted. Is it okay to be a bigot if we know we're being a bigot at the time we're being a bigot? Is it? I'm ready to dive in, because you know what? I'm just saying, I'm thinking if you guys just start, think of it like somebody's going to kill Betty. I'm going to die today. Oh my God. Compose. You know how this is for my gamers. Okay, this is for my gamers, okay? You guys live in the fantasy world, okay? So this is for, some of our people over here, but also some for the hate channels, okay? You guys know how you guys live in the fantasy world, okay? Of kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but like vampires and werewolves. You guys know how you guys put the... Somebody's gonna kill me. You know how you guys put the garlic around your neck? Should we start having bacon necklaces? I'm just, would it repel? Okay, now we can slap. That wasn't funny, Betty. That just wasn't funny. I thought it was hilarious. And instead of, and you know what? And I don't want to hear it because I didn't hear anybody being all overly offended about the werewolves and vampires. Okay. Okay, so I don't want to hear the selective outrage here. Nobody gave a shit when everybody was talking about slinging frickin' garlic around their neck. But all of a sudden, Betty says, oh, let's change the garlic to bacon. And it's the end of the frickin' world. We probably need to stop. All right, we need to stop. That was enough satire. Okay, we got to get back to it. In all fairness, I really don't like seeing that. I would like to see everybody get along. In all fairness, if we could get the Middle East to quit trying to take over the world, if we can just get it in their head that they just need to enjoy their chunk of land and live, civilly with the rest of the world, which they won't. It's a mind disease. It's a mind disease of the Middle East. And I think it's Islam. Okay. It's the Quran. And I'm not going to change my mind on that. There's something wrong with people that you see somebody that's not living like you, and it's either comply or we're going to take you out. That is dictatorship. That is authoritarian. That is Nazism, right? And if you guys want to throw that, then you need to throw it the right way. It's not on America, okay? It's the Middle East that acts like that, okay? So let's get it right. Let's not get it twisted. Hollywood director Rob Reiner, his son, obviously arrested for the death of his mom and dad. I've heard some things, okay? This is what I'm learning about Rob Reiner, which it's shocking, but it's not shocking, because this comes down to where parents, they just refuse to listen. Okay? Rob and his wife are just that way. They just refused to listen. Many actors did not want anything to do with their son. They forced their son around their people. Their son was not invited to these parties, yet they brought their son with them and made people be nice to him. They said that had this child not killed them, that they would probably still be defending their son. These are everything that we teach our parents here not to do, okay? Not to enable their children. This is a situation where they kept sticking their heads in the sand until there was nothing frickin' left, They saw that their son was not doing well. Instead of getting him the help he needed, they just thought that they had this, that they needed to trust. He's even said it publicly. I just had to trust my own guts. We went to all the professionals, and all the professionals weren't helping, because most parents don't do what the professionals tell them to do. They always relapse into the way that they've always done it because it's just easier. They don't want to deal with the problem. So they enable the problem to try to, make things easier on themselves. And I truly believe that's what happened. Now, did he finally put his foot down? I don't think so. I think what happened is they found out their son had relapsed, and relapsed really hard. And he was acting out at this party at Conan O'Brien's house. And, everybody, apparently there was a huge fight that happened where the family ended up leaving the party. Hours later, he's dead. The family, mom and dad are dead. Son is now arrested and in jail. Obviously, the daughter that lived across the street from them is the one that found Rob's body and his wife's body. It sounds like law enforcement knew very quickly who the culprit was. Now that I'm reading some of this stuff, I'd have to think that it made sense with the behavior the night before. Obviously, he wasn't acting himself. He was walking around and being very arrogant and condescending, and walking around the party and saying, hey, you famous? Are you famous? Are you famous? Just being an embarrassment. I found out that their son has talked to them deplorably in public. Okay? Let me tell you something. If your child, I don't care how old they are, and I don't care about you moms that want to call CPS, okay? I'm going to tell you guys right like this, and God forbid cops come knocking on my door. If my child ever raised their voice to me, ever embarrassed me at a party, I don't care whether they're 30 years old or 15 years old, I'm backhanding the snot out of their mouth. If it busts their lip, by God, I will deal with the consequences. But I will tell you what, any child of mine that ever does any type of disrespect like that, I'm going to be within an inch of their life. Okay? Now, maybe some people may say, oh my God, Betty, that's too far. That's too far. You know what? I have respectful children. Okay? There is no way. First of all, my children would never even know that they could ever be that disrespectful. So I wouldn't have to worry about backhanding the crap out of them, right? And I wouldn't have to worry about beating them with an inch of their life. But I'm telling you, if I ever heard a child of mine or a grandchild of mine ever talk to an adult like that, you're picking your ass up from the floor. Okay? You're picking your ass up on the floor. And if somebody has a problem with it, oh well. Oh well. We believe in corporal punishment here. We do not believe in disrespectful children. Okay? And it sounds like Rob and his wife allowed this to go on. They enabled their son. They paid for all of his bills. They never made him struggle. Even when he chose to live on the streets, they never made him struggle. Their parenting lost them their life. They should have gotten him help. They should have did a lot for him. They chose not to. And this is the result of that type of parenting. Okay? This is why I totally disagree with it. A lot of people say, we just keep trying. There's got to be a point when you need to tap out. There's got to be a point when you allow your children just to fall from grace and hit that proverbial bottom. No child, anybody that has a drug problem will ever recover from that drug problem until they're made to recover from that drug problem. It's a sink or swim moment. Yeah, because the nanny raised them, so the parents felt guilty. I bet you that is what it is. And I said that yesterday, that something happened at the age of 15. It might have just been a lack of love. Abandonment issues. And when you have these, that's why I keep saying these movie stars and everything like that, this is abuse. If you are a movie star or have a net worth in the millions of dollars and you want a child for a little, like a purse, to show it off, to show your child off, you are abusing a child. Okay? If you're birthing a child and you think it's the responsibility of somebody else to raise your child, you are a piece of shit. I don't care what your net worth is. Okay? If you're going to spit out a baby, you can still be ghetto and still have $1 million in your bank account. And I think any parent that chooses to have children, birth children, and not raise their children are still pieces of shit parents. Again, doesn't matter what your net worth is. Children deserve to have parents that love them. Not add them to the family like an accessory. And that's what Hollywood does. Look at all these Hollywood stars. Oh, it's so trendy to have trans kids. So what do? They all of a sudden, they have trans kids. Never heard transgender before in our life. But now all of a sudden, innies are outies and outies are innies. What the? I can't.
Warning, bullshit alert.
I can't. You guys have your own plans, whatever. And everybody wants to have selective outrage that Trump had a snarky remark to say about this while giving condolences. He didn't tap dance on this man's grave. He didn't celebrate it or throw a party. Right? I mean, that is what they did to Charlie Kirk, no? No? So you guys take your selective outrage and you take it and shove it where the sun don't shine. You can take it where I told Candace to take it. You sure can. I'm not with the selective outrage. That man has been so nasty to Donald J. Trump. Yes, Rob Reiner. Nasty to Donald and people like me. And I've done nothing but be very respectful of his death. And he thinks that I deserve to be in prison, Rob Reiner. But here I am speaking positively about him. Because that's the way we do things over here. If somebody has a snarky remark for somebody that called him a traitor and says they need to be in jail, I think that's between the two of them. So I'll leave it right there. I can tell you that I told you yesterday, we're probably going to find out some nastiness. This is not a perfect family, okay? There's a lot of dirty secrets in this family, I guarantee it. Okay, you don't get where this man gets without a bunch of dirty secrets. And I'm also hearing that this guy, Rob Reiner, may have even been on. Now I could be wrong, but don't hold me to the fire on this. Somebody did make a comment that they believe he was on the Epstein list. Now I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, but if Rob Reiner is on the Epstein list, then he's no innocent person now, is he? So let's wait till all the facts get out, because I don't know what we're looking at here. What made Nick resent his parents that everybody says loved him and defended him? So it sounds like they know what happened to him, because they would never let anybody be mean to him. Carmela. You know that? It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder what happened that the parents know about, because usually when parents defend a child this much, they know something happened. And hearing what was being said on Popcorn Planet yesterday, he said that, he talked to some people, and those people said that these parents, they wouldn't let, they always defended him. Only him. Because the other kids were fine. It was him. Something happened to this guy here, Nick. I don't know what happened to him when he was a teenager, but something happened to him. I don't know if I'm pretty sure we're going to find out what it is in court. But something bad happened to him. And I think that's why the parents have always protected him, because they always knew. And I think his sociopathic mind or psychopathic mind, I don't know what their son is. It's like Katie Proudfoot. Something bad happened to her, and she manipulated her grandparents most of her upbringing, according to what her crazy Aunt Yeda said. We got to take what Aunt Yeda said with a grain of salt, because that lady, we've been so kind to her, and she flipped on us because for no reason. So we got to take that into consideration as well. But I do believe she was being authentic when we spoke to her, And at the end of the day, she talked about how Katie exploited her grandparents by always using what happened to her by her mom as, the guilt, to get what she wanted. And we've seen that happen many times. So, I feel like this here is kind of, right along that mindset where something happened to him. Now, was it by them, or was it by a friend, or was it by another movie producer, or was he, was he put into this situation to do a child show and was abused, abused? Because that's what happens. That's what happens with these directors. They're very sick people. That's why I'm anti-Hollywood anymore, because I saw what they've done to children. They convince their parents that they're doing what's right. This is all above board. These are well-known names. And they kick the parents off the set, and they do whatever they want with the children. Yeah, the children end up being on the big screen. But what was the true cost? Maybe you should go ask Amanda. Corey Feldman? Britney Spears? Maybe you should go ask them what was the price. Because every last one of them are messed up in the head. Disney Club, right? Disney Kids Club. Remember that? Disney Kids Club. All those adults around all those little children. And every single time, 20, 30 years later, that we have a sting in Polk County, who's involved? Disney employees. I wonder if it's a culture. Justin Bieber. Good example. Yep. Reiner and Weinstein were buddies. So I expect some dirt to come out. There is skeletons in this Hollywood family's closet. I guarantee it, because Hollywood families are immoral. Okay? You guys can say whatever you want about Betty, but I can tell you I live a better life than any of these rich Brown University. Brown University. We found some information out about Brown University yesterday. We learned that we heard a white man was arrested. I saw the actual photo of who the man was from Matt Thibodeau. That's why I like Matt. Hey, Matt Chatter, it's nice to see you. What about the disgusting things Trump said? Let's hear you defend. I already did. I already did. And if you ever come in here again talking to me like that, I will block you. Don't ever come in my chat talking to me like this. You've been around me long enough. And I absolutely agree. Here, let me tell you how I feel about that. I would rewind and go back. I don't really care about bleeding hearts. That man has said so many nasty things to Trump. If he wants to send his condolences off with a snarky message, he has every right to do it. Okay? I didn't do it. And you know what? Not one person, not one Democrat, not one Republican or crazy right-wing lunatic even so much as celebrated or danced on the grave of Rob Reiner. Yet there were people that applaud and celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination. And people are bleeding heart over a snarky comment with condolences. I don't really care. I think he had every right to do it. It's his choice to do it. And I defend freedom of speech even at the highest office. And you should too. But watch your step when you come into my chat. You know better. Okay. Have a great day. Somebody block Mad Chatter. Have a great day. You'll never be back in this chat again. Unless you make a new account, which I'm pretty sure you probably will. Go ahead and kick Mad Chatter. Sayonara, babe. Have a great day. I wish you the best. I'd quit being such a liberal bitch. That's what I'd quit doing. Quit being a liberal bitch. Have a great day. Quit being so overly offended. Maybe if you defended Charlie Kirk, maybe I wouldn't call you a liberal bitch. But you better be glad I'm not calling you the C word. Get her the hell out. Sonia? Thank you. Good day. Good day. You don't want to come over in my chat messing with me. I don't care if you've been with me for a long time or not. I will pull who you are out of you at some point. I do that intentionally. Like I said, I'm going to offend you, and you're going to stand where you're going to stand. And when you stand where you stand, I will boot you. Mad Chatter has been with me for years. What a liberal bitch. She knew better. That means she was just a snake in our garden. Bye-bye. Don't come back. That's how we handle them. All right. Now that we know Mad Chatter also celebrated Charlie Kirk's death, liberal bitch, let's talk about Brown University that decided to execute the VP of the Republican Party at Brown University. Now, who is he? Is he a liberal shitbag? Or is he a Muslim shitbag? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we're going to be finding out very, very soon, I hope. The one thing I do have to say about this is that he's still on the run. There still is a manhunt right now underway for this man. He has not been found. I keep watching how he walks. I keep watching how this man walks. And there is something, it sounds creepy, so familiar about that walk. And I don't know why. It's the way he's walking. It's the beer gut. I don't know. I think who the ultimate shooter is of the Brown University mass casualty event. I honestly think that we're going to, I think it's going to be somebody that's shocking, to be honest with you. I really do. I think, hey, Pete's, it's nice to see you. A little orange man, good morning. Yeah, no one talks to people. Hell no. Hell no. You know, she well, not only that, but she intentionally did that. She wanted to stand on hers. Then bye. I really don't care. I don't care. You know, I've always been happy when Mad Chatter comes here. But no, I'm not gonna sit here and have selective outrage when Mad Chatter couldn't open her freaking mouth about Charlie, right? She can kiss the darkest part of the crack of my ass. That's where you can kiss, Mad Chatter. That's where you can kiss. The darkest part, the starfish, baby. Okay? Yeah, that's one thing you don't do. And come over here and say, oh my God, I'm so offended. Well, I'm so offended by your presence. I'm so offended by your presence. I'm so offended by your presence. Go be offended somewhere else. You're not going to be here. So where are we with this? I don't know. I don't know. We have no new information. I am not confident in Brown University. Okay? Brown University. Yeah, you know, I was talking about the fudge sickle. That here, this is for you, Mad Chatter. This is for you. Oh, it comes with a little nuts in it too. Oh, really? What an idiot. She's an idiot. Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, well. Toodles. Toodles. There's some things you can come back from, but don't come over here and be selective outrage, especially when my people got their neck blown out and you were crickets, right? Yeah. But now you have a deranged producer that's friends with Weinstein that abused women, that I hear was on Epstein's plane, and you want to defend that piece of shit? Okay. Dead or not dead, I'm not dancing on the man's grave. I've been most respectful, but please don't cross the line. Let's not get it twisted. I'm still Bullhorn Betty, okay? I still tell it like it is. You wanted to step in this shit? Once again, you have a hateful person, a liberal white bitch, taking up for the evil in the world. That's why it's cancer. That's why white liberals are cancer. I'm sorry, they just are. Look at this lady. She's literally sticking up for somebody that probably abused their own child and made him like this. Nobody wants to talk about it because they're rich. Well, you know, something happened. I mean, even rich kids just, what child of Trump's trying to, knock him off? I'm just saying. Rich doesn't mean you have to have a drug-addicted child. Look at all of Trump's kids. They all came out really well, raised in a very lofty lifestyle. They all worked for it, too. He taught them what it means to work. Good morning. Feds know she was threatening me, and she has a warrant already. Ooh, Mad Chatter. Is that true? You're a criminal? Well, Mad Chatter should not be out here advocating for children when she's committing crimes. No? Anyways. All right, guys. So the stuff in the Rebecca Park case is kind of heating up a little bit, right? Rebecca Park, as you guys know, she was a 22-year-old missing woman, pregnant, getting ready to burst, right? And then all of a sudden she went missing. And then there were search parties. It sounded like law enforcement didn't take it seriously. Again, she's an adult. I tell you guys, when you have adult children that are missing, you've got to do extra stuff to get law enforcement to believe you. However, the family went out looking for her, and they found her, hollowed out. Her baby missing. Then we hear her biological mother, which did not raise her, and her stepfather that was married to her biological mother, were arrested and charged with first-degree homicide. We found out they admitted to it. They admitted to what they did to Rebecca. So that means we know that this is not alleged. They did confess. Both Courtney and Bradley confessed. Bradley said when the child was removed, the child did not breathe. It is my understanding that is not true. But that's what he told law enforcement. So the graphic details of what happened to this young lady are known by law enforcement and confessed by both Courtney and Bradley. And that will ultimately come out in trial unless their confessions are kicked for a variety of reasons, right? So at the end of the day, they have the understanding of what happened to both mom and baby. We compared Courtney Bartholomew and her statements, her interview to Stephanie, and just how calm she was. She wasn't concerned for her missing daughter or baby. And even he said, I don't really care where they are. I just want to make sure that they're happy and healthy or safe, I think is what she said. Something like that. And I'm like, okay. You know, it's too bizarre. It's too bizarre. And then now we're finding out this whole thing gets worse. Okay. We found out that Kimberly, her sister that was arrested for lying to law enforcement, actually had a baby with her second cousin, of her mother, her bio mother. Bio mom seemed like a real poor excuse for a human being, period. It seemed like she got in contact with her children to turn them out for profit, you know, in the most vile ways you can imagine. It sounds like Rebecca was slow, probably very easily manipulated. It sounded like Kim was probably, you know, some things were wrong with her as well, but not as slow as Rebecca, and kind of took the lead and took charge of a lot of different things. But it seemed very disgusting, their lifestyle. And then the most shocking, I think, everything so far has been shocking, right? The bio mother killing her own kid, ripping her grandson out of the womb, killing the grandson, and then finding out that her youngest daughter is sleeping with her cousin. Her oldest daughter's fiance is sleeping with Kimberly and Courtney. I mean, this is just disgusting. I mean, it's disgusting, as vile, and just, you want to know why there's so many RSOs? This is all these people think about. It's disgusting. It's just, I can't describe how gross this family is. This family is disgusting. Okay? When I made the statement that they need Jesus, I'm not lying. They need some Jesus. I don't know if they know it's frowned upon in our society to be sleeping with family members, okay? In American society, it is frowned upon to be sleeping with your family, okay? It is disgusting to the normal civilized environment. Even cousins. It's disgusting, okay? If you're around your cousin, you shouldn't be... Oakley, Jerry Lynn, mama of 9.5, K-Bears, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. We're just kind of going over a bunch of shocking news this morning. At 4:15, we will be going over some news related to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. So if you guys have not signed up for that, you can sign up for that. The first half was political, so a lot of people aren't very pleased with my political commentary. I don't care. But at the end of the day, you know, we're talking about Rob. We're not celebrating Rob's death, nor would I celebrate Rob's death. I do not celebrate the demise of anybody, right? There are some things that I kind of understand more than others, but this is not one of those cases. And the president had some, you know, snarky comments to say with his condolences. He's entitled to that, okay? You're talking about a man that has said horrible things to our president and lost his life because of him being obviously not the best dad to his son. his son murdered him. His son murdered him and his wife. Obviously, something was going on in that family dynamic that everybody was keeping hush-hush. I am not a person that's PC. I'm not a person that bows down to my audience. I stand on my own. I think on my own. I don't care if people agree with my opinion. It's very simple. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. It's not going to affect me one way or another. Okay? But what is going to affect you is saying that somebody doesn't have a right to speak about somebody negatively, about somebody that has spoke negatively about them in the most vile ways. If you go back and look at some of the comments that Rob said about Donald J. Trump, I think you can understand his anger and quite snarky comment. But he didn't celebrate this man's death, and he sent his condolences, which, to be honest with you, is better than I would have done had the shoe been on the other foot. Okay? And at the end of the day, that's where I base my assessment. Would I have done that? That depends on the situation. I think everybody in here, depending on the situation, would have something to say. There's somebody that's died that you've known about that you didn't like. What did you say? What was going through your mind that didn't come out of your mouth? Only you know that. So I don't judge, okay? Not on this, because if Mad Hatter was here condemning all of the people that celebrated Charlie Kirk's death and came in here and had something to say about, Donald J. Trump, I'd have respect for her. But the problem is she kept her mouth shut while everybody was celebrating, and then comes in here with selective outrage and has a problem with a snarky comment. Donald J. Trump did not celebrate the death of Rob Reiner. He sent his condolences with a snarky message. There's a big difference there. What we saw is people applauding, people smiling, and actively celebrating the assassination death of Charlie Kirk in front of millions of people. And you're going to come in here and want me to feel bad for a snarky comment President Trump makes? Get the fuck out of here. In the most disgusting manner I can say. Get out of here. Because you're not getting that from Bullhorn Betty. Never in a million years. Okay? Never, not once in a million years are you going to get that from Bullhorn Betty. Okay? So you're barking up the wrong tree. And you can't come in here and guilt me or shame me into anything, okay? That's not how I roll. You don't control me. You don't control me from, guilt tripping me. You can't guilt trip me, okay? If I feel guilt, it's because I feel guilt, not because you made me feel guilt, okay? And if I feel guilt in any portion of my day, I immediately correct that guilt, okay? I do not feel guilt over the comments that President Trump made at all. Quite frankly, I'm surprised that they weren't worse, be honest with you. So what we have learned from the Parks case is that the new details have emerged in court documents about the investigation in the death of Rebecca Park, 22-year-old woman who was nearly full term in her pregnancy when she disappeared last month. Park was last seen on November 3rd after leaving her mother's home in Boontown, Michigan. Her body was found on November 25th in Manistee National Forest. An autopsy later determined she was no longer pregnant at the time of death. Law enforcement officials have not publicly confirmed whether the baby or the baby's remains have been recovered. There were admissions from Bradley on what they did with the baby's remains, and it appears that the baby's remains were removed and put in a bag and taken to a different property. Newsweek requested comments from Wexler's prosecuting office and Michigan State Police. I don't think they've responded, but the case has drawn attention because the allegations outlined in the court filings involved uncommon and complex set of charges tied to the death of a pregnant woman, raising broader legal and investigative questions. The affidavit detailed how prosecutors are applying Michigan's homicide and assault statutes in a family-related case, while underscoring the role of early court documents in shaping public understanding of an active prosecution before evidence is tested at trial. There she is. According to the probable cause affidavit, I'm going to put this caveat here. I don't usually, you guys don't even have this on up here, right? There we go. I will tell you guys, I usually don't put trigger warnings on my channel at all. But for this particular case, with the Rebecca Park case, I've got to. This is so outside of the norm of disgusting and depraved that we deal with that we have to make sure that viewer discretion is advised from this point forward. And if you guys, if you guys are under the age of 18, I don't want you here. Okay? I don't want you here. We're about to go into some details that only adults should be hearing. So if you guys are with young children, this might be the time to maybe just give me about 5 minutes before you turn the stuff back on. I don't know what's going to be in this article, but we know the details of this, and I just think it's probably a little too much for younger ears. So that's just my disclaimer. So let me keep moving. So, probable cause affidavit filed on December 12th in the 84th District Court. Investigators allege Park was killed by her mother, Courtney Bartholomew, 40 years old, and her stepfather, Bradley Bartholomew, 47 years old. Both are charged with first-degree murder and multiple other felonies and are being held without bail. The disappearance and discovery. The affidavit states Parks was approximately 38 weeks pregnant when she went missing. Her cell phone was later found near her mother's residence. Authorities initiated a search, citing concerns for both Parks and her unborn baby. On November 25th, civilians participating in a search effort discovered a body in the Manistee National Forest. Michigan police, state police, later confirmed the remains were Parks. According to the affidavit and sworn by Wexford County Sheriff's Office, investigator Courtney Bartholomew initially denied her involvement with her daughter's disappearance. Investigators later confronted her with the cell phone data and other evidence placing her near the location where Park's body was found. The affidavit states during the subsequent interview, Courtney Bartholomew admitted to cutting the fetus from Park's womb using a scalpel. So, guys, this is where she admits to this, okay? So, Courtney was the one that ultimately made the incision. This is horrible. She allegedly told investigators her intent was to save the baby and give the child to Park's fiancé, Richard Lee Fowler, 43 years old. The affidavit says she reported the baby was not breathing after being removed. Courtney Bartholomew also told investigators that her husband was the father of the baby, a claim he has denied. So she's trying to say that Bradley got Rebecca pregnant, not Richard. Very interesting. But Bradley denied that. So there must be some evidence that he has slept with Rebecca. I mean, this is just, I can't tell you how disgusting this whole entire family is. According to the affidavit, Bradley Bartholomew told investigators his wife orchestrated the event, that he did not stab Park. During the court hearing referenced in the affidavit, prosecutors alleged Park was still alive when the fetus was removed. That's awful. That is awful. Wexford County prosecutor Johanna Carey describes the case as premeditated torture and murder, telling the court that the defendant created a plan and conducted research. Both Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew face charges including first-degree murder, felony murder, torture, conspiracy to commit torture, assault on a pregnant individual causing miscarriage or stillborn, unlawful imprisonment, and removal of a dead body. And this right here is what I get so pissed off about, because this should also be a homicide. This should be an additional count of homicide. But because we're in a liberal state of Michigan, they don't consider a baby a baby. How disgusting. How disgusting. So a baby can be tortured in the womb and you're only going to get an assault charge. Way to go, Michigan. You make me want to vomit. You make me want to vomit. Anybody from Michigan State? These are your laws. These are your laws. I think you guys got a lot of work to do. Because a baby is a human being. Okay? I don't need some law telling me a baby is a human being. Each murder-related charges carry possible life sentence under Michigan law. Oh, so you can just torture somebody to death, rip a baby out of their stomach, and you get life imprisonment. No possibility of DP whatsoever in the state of Michigan. You guys got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of work to do. It seems like you guys like to, support your private prisons, right? It's a profit, right? These people don't want to lose their business model. Their business model is throwing people in jail for a long period of time. They make a lot of money throwing people in jail for a lot of time. People that will never walk out of jail again. We got to clothe them, house. Listen, if somebody can never walk the earth normally without being locked away, I think it's inhumane to lock them in a cage. You need to put them down. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel. It's what we would do it's what people would be okay with if it was a dog or a rabid animal. Okay, these people that do the things that they do, I call them rabid animals. Why would I treat them anything different than a rabid animal? Right? Why is our society so sensitive that we allow people to brutalize us, and we want to give them 3 hots and a cot for the rest of their life as a reward? What the hell is wrong with you people? I'm just asking. Each murder-related charge carries the possible life sentence under Michigan law. Park's sister, Kimberly, 21, was arrested and later charged with tampering with evidence, lying to police after filing a false report. Court records show she was released after posting a reduced bail and is currently on house arrest. What a great sister. Fowler was arrested on unrelated drug charges and later released on bond. Authorities have not accused either Kimberly or Fowler of participating in Park's killing, but they are just pieces of shit. Disgusting, putrid, immoral pieces of garbage. Sorry, not sorry. According to the affidavit, Courtney Bartholomew told investigators the fetus was placed in a cooler and later discarded in a dumpster. The defendant has been assigned a public defender. No pleas have been entered. Prosecutor have said the investigation remains ongoing and the additional evidence, including digital forensic analysis, will be presented as the case proceeds through the court system. Here is the information, the timeline of information. March 3rd, she disappears, 38 weeks pregnant. Stated that she's a passenger in a dark-colored sedan shortly before midnight. November 4th, Park was reported missing. Law enforcement launched a search, citing both concern for Park and her unborn baby. Closer to the end of November, she was found. Mid-November, her cell phone was found. Park's due date passed, which was November 18th, and then her body was found on the 25th. The autopsy was determined. The baby was removed. Kimberly and Richard Fallon were arrested. And then, of course, 4 and 5 days later, Courtney and Bradley were arrested. On December 2nd, the prosecutors announced multiple felony charges. There was a court hearing. Early December, Kimberly Park was arraigned and, on the tampering charges. Her bail was reduced. She was placed on house arrest. And, as we know it for right now, the child has not been found for everything that we know. But that's just everything that we know so far. So that is kind of the case with this in a nutshell. There's not a whole lot more to go over in this case other than it's a disgusting case. I don't know what to say other than it's just a disgusting case. I am kind of shocked that we have families like this, but my motto, if we have families like this here, right, then there's more families like this. So this is not the only thing going on in America that sounds like this, and that's just it's horrific. It's horrific. It is absolutely horrific. Was she still alive when the baby? Yes, Sandy. According to what has been told, she was alive. I can't imagine. But we knew somebody had to help because there's no way that Courtney could have done this by herself. She's a one-legged woman, okay? She's a one-legged woman. So that means I think Bradley had to have held her down. Why Courtney did all this. Because that's the only way I can see this happening. Bradley's a sick person. They're all sick. And quite frankly, I think Kimberly and Richard need to be to jail for a very long time. They're just putrid people. I'm sorry. They're just putrid people. They're putrid. They're putrid. I don't want these type of people around us. I mean, I don't. They're sexual deviants. They're predators. All of them. Even the girls. They're all predators. This is a messed up family. There's nothing that's going to heal this family, okay? They don't look like they're running to the churches anytime soon. So you're talking about evil people procreating evil people. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? All right, guys, we got some updates going on, and I figured I would run through these if we had time at the end of the show, and we kind of do have time, so I'm going to give you guys as many updates as I possibly can on the cases that we've been covering. And the first case is Michael Monkey Vaughn and Stacey Wandra. We haven't really heard any more about Sarah being arrested, Brandon Shurtleff being arrested. As a matter of fact, we found out Brandon Shurtleff was being released. We haven't even really heard a whole lot about Adrienne Lucen. So I have no idea where Adrienne is, right? But we know where Stacey is and we know where Sarah are. They are both arrested. Sarah's in jail. Stacey has now been charged with first-degree homicide. So what is going on? Stacey Wandra is a central figure in the disappearance and presumed murder of 5-year-old Michael Monkey Vaughn from Fruitland, Idaho, in July of 2021, about 45 days after Summer Wells disappeared. Both blonde hair, blue eyes. It was very, very hard. 2021 was a rough year for many of us. Michael vanished from his home in the Hidden Meadows subdivision, and for years the case remained a high-profile missing child investigation with nobody found. Wandra, along with his wife Sarah Wandra, and 2 associates, Brandon Shurtleff and Adrienne Lucen, became the primary subjects and suspects after extensive surveillance, canine work, and digital evidence pointing to their involvement. In late 2025, Stacey Wandra was formally charged with first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction concealment of evidence in connection with Michael's death, making him the first person criminally charged in the case. Now, one of the points of conversation here is why so far is he the only one being charged in this case? And I think there are multiple reasons. It may be one of them, it may be 2 of them, it may be none of them, it may be something completely different, okay? Hey, Stephanie B. Betty, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Blue skies and sandy beaches, dreaming of blue skies and sandy beaches is nice to see you, love. I hope you're doing well. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you're coming in or going out. I really do appreciate it. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. This is just a little reminder, guys, that tomorrow I will be running a very, very early live. It's going to probably getting off at 6:30 or 7 o'clock because I have a ribbon cutting I'm going to, and I've got to be out of here by 10 tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to be back. So we'll try to get... We'll try to get started about the same time we got started this morning so we can hang out with each other for a while before I have to run off, okay? So just be here, be there, be square. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to turn your bell to all so you guys get all notifications every time we come live. Right now, if you go there and it's on personalized, you're not going to get all of our notifications. Everybody's complaining, I never get your notification, I never get your notification. And most of the time it's because your notification button is not set correctly. So look at your notification button. That's the bell looking icon on your phone. Okay. Thank you, Justice for Monkey. Now, why would they be just doing one? Why haven't they arrested all 4 of the people with homicide? Well, there may be multiple reasons for this. They might have their strongest case with Stacy. He was the one that spoke to them the most. He was the one that acknowledged and admitted more than any other person had admitted. And I think that they are prosecuting him first to find, what they're lacking, or maybe they started this so they could have a different investigative avenue to go down. We don't know what the purpose is truly for why it's only Stacy that's been charged so far. I think the reason why they charged Stacy is because he was getting ready to be taken out of Arizona jail. And you got to remember, you got Sarah in Idaho, Stacy in Arizona, you've got Brandon in North or South Dakota, and you've got Adrian Lucien most likely in Washington or California. So you got all of these players literally all speckled all over the United States. So they might be just trying to get Stacy back to Idaho to charge him. Sarah's already in Idaho jail for other charges. And, Brandon was just released from jail, which I'm sure they probably should have charged him as well. So with them not charging Brandon, but charging Stacy, then they're missing something that they need to have come out in Stacy's trial in order to help them arrest the other people, is the only thing that I can really think. I could be wrong, but that's what makes sense kind of to me. But on July 27th, 2021, Monkey was last seen around 6:30 p.m. near his home on Southwest 9th Street in Fruitland, Idaho. His stepdad reported him missing about 7:21. So we were a little concerned about why it took 50 minutes for him to be reported missing, but he really truly thought his son was just around the neighborhood. Nobody had ever experienced anything like this in their community, folks. So I don't think it was top of mind that, his son was really gone. And that those 50 minutes might have been the most crucial 50 minutes in finding Sarah and Stacy with this child. But, we don't know. And I don't want to assume or make a father feel worse than he already feels. Between July 28th and July 29th, there was a massive ground search, aerial search by Fruitland PD, Idaho State Police, the FBI, volunteers. No trace of Michael was found. A neighbor reported seeing Michael riding a pink big flyer tricycle near the Wandra home that evening. This is interesting. That evening. August 2nd, 2021, live scent K9 tracked Michael's scent from the neighborhood directly to the Wandra residence down a bluff near Three River Way, where a discarded stroller was later found. So we're learning a little more information than we ever had found out before. The pink tricycle was discovered behind the bluff sign near Three Rivers Way. It matched the one previously seen in the Wandra's garage. Stuff that we did not know. August 1st, 2021 to December 2022. Fruitland PD ISP conducted hundreds of interviews, reviewed videos from dozens of cameras, and executed multiple search warrants. Sarah Wandra began posting heavily on TikTok about religion and repentance, including references to the 10 Commandments and thou shalt not kill. November 10th to the 12th, 2022, Stacy Wandra, then in jail on unrelated charges, contacted Fruitland PD to confess that Michael was brought into their home, bound with duct tape, placed in a duffel bag, and later buried in the backyard. He says Sarah accidentally suffocated Michael. November 12, 2022, search warrants executed at the Wandra home. 5 certified cadaver dogs alerted in the backyard near a shed. Soil is freshly filled and resodded, but no remains are recovered after a full excavation. On November 14th, Sarah Wandra was arrested in Idaho on state charges for failing to report the death She later released on charges and dismissed without prejudice in 2023. And November 14th was when I broke that news on my show. June, I was the only content creator that broke that news on this show. June 11th, 2025, Payette County prosecutor files a criminal complaint against Sarah Wandra for first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction and concealment of evidence. June 25th, 2025, probable cause affidavit files. Stacy Wandra is charged with first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction, concealment of evidence. October 31st, 2025, Payette County prosecutors publicly announced that Stacy Wandra has been charged and is being held without bail in Payette County Jail. So Stacy Wandra remains in custody. Sarah Wandra also formally... so Sarah Wandra has been formally charged, but it doesn't say when. It looks like December 2025, she was formally charged with murder and kidnapping. She's in the custody on unrelated charges in Idaho and is expected to be brought back for prosecution. And Brandon and Adrian are still at large. Law enforcement identified them as participants, but have not yielded charges yet. Michael's body has not been recovered. Pertinent information: Stacy Wandra has prior felony record, including conviction of attempted robbery and identity theft in Oregon. Probable cause affidavit alleges that a group planned to kidnap the child for HT or ST for $10,000, with Sarah carrying Michael into the home and others helping bind and conceal him. That is just something else. These people are sick. The case has led to charges in Idaho and also strengthening of laws through Monkey's Law. Oh, wow. And then I've got, of course, Sebastian Rogers, but we're going to be going over him at 4:15 this afternoon. Brown University. We kind of went over Brown University already. Now, Travis Turner, he was the football coach that, was accused of CSAM and soliciting underage people to come and meet with him. Law enforcement went out to his house to question him about the incident, and according to his wife, he took off out the back door and into the woods with a rifle. He has never been found, to the best of my knowledge. He has been on the run since. I don't know if he's willing to do self-harm, but it is very cold out there in the area that he's in. And if he's not deceased, either somebody is helping him, but I don't believe he could possibly survive out in the woods with the limited items that he took out. And I do not believe that he was caching before this happened. I believe that he realized the gig was up and he took off. So where is he now? What's going on? I have no idea. But Travis, he's 46-year-old, and he was the former high school football coach at Big Stone Gap, Virginia, at Union High School. He disappeared November as a missing person, and then law enforcement informed the people that he really wasn't a missing person. He was a man on the run from these very serious charges. And he was last seen November 20th. Dressed in a gray sweatshirt and sweatpants, initially reported missing. The case took a dramatic turn, and Virginia State Police announced warrants for Turner on multiple charges of CSAM and, the exploitation or, trying to get somebody to come to him for, unsavory purposes. So November 20th, Travis was last seen in Appalachia, Virginia. He was reported missing. He does have a firearm. The 23rd through the 24th, state police began search and investigation, deploying search rescue teams, drones, tracking dogs in the Appalachian area. And it doesn't sound like they found him. And then, of course, on the 25th of November, they announced the warrants have been issued for Turner, 5 counts of CSAM and 5 counts of using the computer to solicit. November 26th to December 25th, search efforts continue across the region. Authorities state that Turner is familiar with the area and may be hiding in remote locations. December 9th, Wise County Circuit Judge orders all documents related to Turner to be sealed. and to limit public access. Right now, Travis Turner remains at large. He is wanted on 10 felony charges related to child CCM or, some type of solicitation, exploitation. You guys know the charges, but just to keep it all above board. The Wise County Circuit Court seals all documents. There's no further discussion about it, and they're still searching for Travis Turner. So again, unless he's receiving help from somebody, I don't know what is going on with him. And if you guys do not know what he looks like, let me pull his Travis Turner. Let me pull his photo up so you guys can see what he looks like. Okay. So that's what Travis looks like right there. If you guys have seen him anywhere, please reach out to law enforcement. This is going to lag the system because it's got all those advertisements on it. It's the one thing I hate about publications. But either way, that's what he looks like. I wanted to make sure that you guys did have an opportunity to see what the man looks like. He looks like an average guy. He had an undefeated season. They were from a well-to-do family. Everybody really highly respected him and his wife. And I'm very concerned because he has children and he has a daughter. And these things, these obsessive compulsive disorders, they don't come out overnight. So that's all I'm going to be saying about that. They don't come out overnight. Give me a second while this closes down. Okay. I can't stand publications. They just really wreak havoc on the system. So I try to get in and out as much as possible. So the update on Austin Drummond, as you guys know, we covered Austin Drummond, 28-year-old punk from prison that should never have been out of prison. He should have never been out. 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 And just in the little bit of time that he was out, less than a year, he ended up murdering 4 people. And it's horrific. It's horrific. So Austin Drummond is 28 years old from Tennessee, who was accused of a quadruple homicide in the rural area of Lake County in July of 2025. Drummond is charged with killing Courtney Rose, Adriana Williams, Braden Williams, James Wilson, who were found shot to death in a wooded area and covered in tarps. The case shook the community and led on a massive manhunt involving the TBI, U.S. Marshals, and other local agencies, state and local agencies. A convicted felon with an alleged ties with violent street gang was captured in Jackson, Tennessee, and now he's facing charges along with about 4 other of his co-conspirators on these charges where they helped him cover up the crime. And so we learned that they had to send him to prison. They had to take him out of the local jail and send him to prison. And the reason why they had to send him to prison and take him out of the local jail is because he was acting out, and he was throwing feces all over the walls. Very disgusting, vile individual, Austin Drummond is. And so now he's having to be escorted from prison to his court hearings because he was too out of control for the jails. And I think they have a little more ability to handle his type of crazy in a prison setting. So Drummond is a convicted felon who was out on bail and on an attempted murder charge at the time of the killing. His girlfriend is the sister of the infant's grandmother, linked him to the victim's family. Cell phone data places Drummond near the wooded area where the bodies were found, and prosecutors allege the murders were premeditated. So he intended on doing this. This is just horrible. And what caused him to do that? I have no idea. We haven't been hearing a lot about the Devil Den killing or killer, and that's that Andrew McGann. What is the other name he goes by? They call him McGann, but he has 3 names, and they mixed up Andrew something McGann and they mixed up his name multiple times. But we'll go with Andrew McGann. Andrew James McGann. And they were saying it was James Andrew McGann, 28, from Springsdale, Arkansas. But either way, we don't know what's going on. This case is progressing through their system pretty well. If I'm not mistaken, I think we're going to have a trial on this at the beginning of the year. That's how quickly it's moving. Like, it is moving so quickly that I don't know what to say. But it looks like we're going to have a trial on this, unless something comes up. I've never seen a trial but this did have notoriety at the beginning, but the notoriety kind of died down. It's not a viral case. When this first happened, it was a viral case, so it did get a lot of media attention. But I've checked it, and there has been literally squat for media attention on this case. It's just died down to absolutely nothing. So what does that mean? I truly don't know. I don't know what that means. Did they have a really strong case? Yeah, I guess we could say that they must have a very strong case. Here's the updates as of December 2025. McGann remains in custody at Washington County Detention Center, held without bond, while he awaits trial. Prosecutors led by Washington County Prosecutor Brandon. Oh God, we have a Brandon Carter as the prosecutor. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm not lying. The prosecuting attorney is Brandon Carter. We have a Brandon Carter and Sebastian Waindrake Rogers case. You can't make this stuff up. That gave me the do. But Brandon Carter have confirmed they are seeking the death penalty if McGann is convicted. A gag order is in place, so law enforcement and the courts are not allowed to release any details about evidence, but investigators have stated they are confident they have the right suspect. Vermont State Police are also investigating possible connections between McGann and a 2023 homicide in Castleton, Vermont. But no formal charges have been filed. I remember that they were looking at him for some other possible, charges, because he attacked these people on a hiking trail. It was and he seemed like he knew what he was doing. I think that's what kind of caught everybody by surprise. It didn't seem like this was his first time, and I think law enforcement picked up on that. And so there was law enforcement all around the country that was looking for people attacked on trails, and one in Vermont was coming up, and I think that they actually have him in Vermont during that time, which is making it really, really look like it might be McGann. But I'll have to dive into that. But they say McGann is described as a former teacher who had not yet started his new job in Springdale Public School, which again this is why I say we need to quit having background checks, and we need psychological testing for all of these people that are going to be around our children. The psychological testing will determine whether these teachers are psychopaths or not. Okay? Psychopaths can fall under the radar and not be arrested for years and years and years and years and years. But they cannot beat the psychological test. Bobby and Carter. Oh, Bobby Carter. No, Brandon Carter. No, I thought it was a Brandon Carter. Bobby Simmons and Brandon Carter. Yeah, they had a Brandon Carter too, but this is the prosecutor in this case. And so McGann, again, the school didn't. He's about to start a job at the school. Authorities have said McGann admitted to killing shortly after his arrest, and that his DNA matched the blood found at the crime scene. So they've got a slam dunk case, it sounds like. The motive for the attack has not been publicly disclosed. We kind of know what it is, because according to the reason why he's left so many schools prior to going to Springdale School is because of the inappropriate behavior. Many felt that he was doting on his young female students, pupils. So that was a problem, and what made him leave other schools. So them having two girls with them, and the initial statements where they were trying to save the girls, it sounds like the little girls were what he was looking for. Just my opinion. There has been some updates in Jennifer Kessie's case. And here's what we know. Jennifer Kesse, this is an old case, a cold case, a 24-year-old cold case, almost a 20-year-old cold case. She's 24 at the time this happened. She was an office manager or finance manager in Orlando. She had just come back from a trip with her boyfriend, and she was getting acclimated and situated the night before and heading off to work the next day. And she just disappears and never makes it to work. And so she disappeared on the 24th after leaving her condo for work. She was last seen alive on the evening of January 23rd. This is in 2006 when she spoke with her boyfriend on the phone. The next morning, she failed to show up for work, and her car was later found abandoned about a mile from her home. So it tells me that somebody was close in proximity that did this to her. Security footage does show an unidentified person parking her car and walking away, but the suspect's face is obscured. For nearly 2 decades, the case is considered a cold case, but in 2025, Florida investigators announced major breakthroughs and reclassified this case as active, non-cold case. So what happened in December 2025 is the case is now officially classified as active and a non-cold case by the FDLE. Investigators are treating it as a homicide with small, focused list of persons of interest. So they have a short list. New DNA evidence has been recovered from items that have not been tested before, contradicting earlier claims that DNA was only found on the steering wheel. FDLE is using artificial intelligence to try to identify the person of interest seen on the surveillance footage parking Jennifer's car. A documentary series about Jennifer's disappearance is a production and is expected to air early 2026. So we're going to be hearing a little more details about the case that maybe we may have forgotten. Jennifer was a University of Central Florida graduate working in finance. She recently bought a condo and was described as responsible and punctual. Her car, keys, phone, iPad, purse, briefcase, and the clothes she was wearing are all missing. Valuables left inside the car suggest robberies was not the motive. Investigators have long considered the possibility that a construction worker or someone from her condo complex was involved, but no suspects have been charged. That would be my suggestion. A mile from her house shows that that's in walking distance, and somebody was probably very close, if not living in her community at the time. So we do have a little bit of information on that. And then, of course, we come back to Tennessee for an update on Layla Santinello. Many of you guys know Layla Santinello was a case that was not making or getting any attention when she first disappeared. And I saw her mother begging and begging and begging for somebody's help. And one of our audience members actually sent this case to me. And I ended up buying flyers for this. I wasn't really going to be involved. I wasn't going to go out there and help and search and everything. I was just going to hopefully bring some attention to it and let them social media kind of take over from there. But the problem is nobody would cover this case. And so I decided I was just going to go ahead and pick it up and cover it. And when I did cover the case, that's when people wanted to finally get on board to whack me over the head and treat Jennifer Santinello like crap for, working with me, but nobody else was willing to work with her. And mind you, I didn't involve myself into this case until after 2 weeks of running this story and nobody jumping on the bandwagon or trying to help this mother. And so I ended up going out there. Chronicles of Olivia and I partnered on this case, and we went out there and started searching for Layla Santinello, and we've made a lot of, we got a lot of pay dirt, and we kind of had an understanding of where she was, but it didn't bring us any closer to finding her. So Layla Santinello is a 20-year-old woman from Kingsport, Tennessee, who disappeared June 27, 2023, after fleeing the AmeriCorps extended stay motel in a distressed state. Layla has been staying at the motel with her boyfriend, Michael Thompson, and was last seen barefoot and disoriented near a field near the property. Her disappearance sparked a major search effort and a complex investigation that uncovered extortion and identity theft against Thompson, though he has not been charged or in connection with Layla's disappearance, and it doesn't appear he has any responsibility in her disappearance. Her case remains open with law enforcement and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation actively pursuing leads. I believe Michael Thompson was told by friends that Layla had passed away, and that's why he started searching for her and saying that she was missing when he did. The case remains open right now. She has not been found, and nobody has been arrested or charged in connection with her disappearance. Layla is still missing. Her case is active and being worked by Kingsport Police Department and TBI. In late 2025, investigators told the family that the case is still being pursued very actively, though no new public details have been released. Kingsport Police Department has confirmed that there is no evidence linking Layla's disappearance to any other missing person case, including Holland Snap. Holland Snap's another young lady that disappeared from the area. Layla's family continues to distribute flyers and post on social media. Her mother has literally stopped her life to pursue her daughter, to find answers to her daughter, and she's not giving up hope. And that means she goes without a paycheck. That means she goes without help. That means she is reliant on the good people that follow her and support her in every way. When you are dependent on the people and you're unemployable because you got a child missing, that means you struggle to put groceries on your table. You struggle for Thanksgiving, Christmas. You struggle to make rent. You struggle. And it's sad. It's sad to watch, but this is the life when you have a missing child. You don't get to go back to work. You don't get to go back and have a normal life while your child is still missing. And anybody that doesn't understand that, I pray to God you're not put in this position, but sometimes I wish you were so you'd understand, because a lot of people criticize people. I heard that people are saying Layla's mom should just go back to work, that she comes here and has her hand out for this, that, and the other. You either have an army behind you or you do not, okay? Sebastian has an army behind him. That means when his father struggles, we all struggle. Just like Layla. Layla has an army behind her. When her mother struggles, we all struggle. So for the people, the naysayers out there that criticize these parents because they stop their life for their children, if you weren't willing to do the same thing, I would question you as a mommy or a daddy, okay? So anybody that sits there and belittles a mother or a father that stops their life to search for their missing child, no matter if their missing child is an adult or a child, it doesn't matter. And you belittle them because they refuse to give up on their child. They want to keep working to find their child and everything that goes through with that. That is, it's heartless. It's heartless. It's heartless. Until you understand the walk, don't criticize the walk, because I can tell you, when you have a missing child or you're taking care of an adult child's child and you don't have answers for your own grandchild, it does something to you. It does something to you in a way that nobody will understand unless you're part of this walk. And for you guys to sit there and criticize or condemn a mother that refuses to give up, shame on you. Truly, truly, shame on you. To help, that's it. So if you guys would like to help Layla Santanella's mom, if you guys would like to buy something for Layla's daughter, Nova Grace, get with Sonia and see what you guys can do. Nova needs help 365 days a year. Okay? Raising a child is not easy. And this is a grandmother having to raise her grandchild. Why? Because her daughter is missing. Nobody knows where her daughter is. I can't imagine the hell that Layla Santanella's mother is living in, and so is her family, her entire family. Remember, she also had siblings. She has brothers and sisters that don't know what happened to their... You guys have no earthly idea how much pain you can cause somebody, and maybe you just don't care. Maybe you're just heartless people. I don't know. But I just couldn't do that to a parent. I just couldn't do that to a parent. I just couldn't. Layla's 4'10", 135 pounds. I think she's more like 110 when she disappeared. She has blonde hair, brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a white tank top, gray sweatpants, and no shoes. Early in the investigation, detectives believe she was last seen at the Marble Slab Creamery, but apparently that was inaccurate. We also have Holland Snap that disappeared in October of 2023, about 3 months after Layla Santinello. So we do have 2 children in that area that are missing. So I'm not going to go too much in Holland Snap's details. I wasn't really that much involved with that. I mean, we passed around because they were so in close proximity, and Layla's mom and Holland Snap's mom, they kind of partnered together to help each other, which was a really thoughtful thing to do. They could support each other through the ups and downs of the cases. I will tell you, they are both presumed deceased. Holland Sapp, we don't expect to find her alive. We've heard enough information behind the scenes that would acknowledge that she's most likely deceased. And we've heard enough information. We heard enough information about Layla Santinello that presents that she is most likely deceased as well. So, as you can imagine, it's very hard on the parents. It's very, very, very hard on parents of these children, and just trying to find their child. I can't imagine. And trust me, for you guys for the people that don't understand it, the only way I can describe it is, if you're a parent right now, is look at your child and think about waking up tomorrow without that child and not knowing whether they're dead or alive. You tell me how you're going to be able to concentrate for work. People don't understand that. But how are you planning on concentrating at work when you don't know where your child is? You try waking up every day and getting out of bed when you don't know whether your child's dead or alive. I don't know how to explain it to you. I don't know how to explain it to people that are nasty to parents of missing children or missing adults. I don't know how to explain it to you. We have a society now where parents don't have to be forced to decide whether to go back to work or look for their children. And it is always going to be the position of the Bullhorn Betty channel to support the families searching for their family members. Okay. That will always be the focus of this channel. We're never going to try to force a parent to go back to work when their child is missing. I'm sorry. There's more things that they could be doing with their time than working for somebody else when their child is missing. And talk about the torture that we are putting a family through to say, no, we're not going to help you. We're going to force you to go back to work when you can't even get up and put one foot in front of the other. We want to see you suffer even more than you're already suffering. I would never do that to a family. And for anybody that would say that to a family, you are pretty heartless. You are pretty heartless. There's a time and a place for everything. But children that are missing, you guys all know it's never law enforcement that finds them. So how the hell do you expect them to be found? I just want to know, for all the hate channels that are out there that love to say grift when you guys are the biggest grifters on these platforms, explain it to me. You can explain it to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Explain it to me. Because I guarantee you whiny little bitches on the hate channels, you guys are the first ones that are, oh my gosh, this is not fair. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. If your child was missing, you guys would be grifting out the ass. You'd be, yeah, I just need money. I need a PR. I need this. You start realizing how expensive flyers are. You start realizing how expensive shirts are. You start realizing how expensive signs are. And you're like, well, how the hell am I going to do it? Oh, I got to GoFundMe. I need a GoFundMe. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Well, no shit. It's expensive to have somebody missing in America. It's expensive to have somebody missing anywhere. Because let's face it, it's never the cops that we pay our taxpayer money that finds them. And it's not their fault, don't get me wrong. You're talking about people that don't know you, don't know your family, don't know the missing person, don't know how they think, don't know what their favorite color is, doesn't know anything about them, and you're asking them to go out and try to find somebody they know nothing about. I mean, you're in all fairness, it's not fair to say law enforcement isn't doing their job in a situation like that. They don't know where to begin because they don't know the person, the family, the friends. You guys know those people. You know where to start first. You're like, oh, if she's not here, should be over here. You're the ones with that information, not law enforcement. You. I'm not yelling at you. Come here. You're a good girl. Mommy loves you. So, I'm just, it's very frustrating when I see what I saw and what I heard on some social media, some comments on Layla Santanello. You people on TikTok, and I'm going to throw this out here on TikTok. I'm going to make a video on this. I think you guys are becoming vile creatures. I will be honest with you. You guys on TikTok are becoming vile creatures. And you guys need a comeuppance. And you guys need a little dose of Jesus. And let me tell you something. Betty's ready to go over there and start smacking some ass. I'm just letting you know. Because at the end of the day, these families are struggling. You try to go to work. You look at your baby and say, I can't look at my baby's face anymore. And you try to make do. Right? You wouldn't be able to. It's so easy to judge somebody when you're not facing the same situation. But I guarantee you, if the shoe was on the other foot, you would be 10 times worse. You would be 10 times worse. So let's when it comes to these families, don't. Just don't. I'm sick and tired of hearing it. And so is everybody else, because we just don't care. We don't care about your opinion. We don't care because, you know what? We're not heartless people. We are going to support people that are sitting here trying to find their family. We will always support the people that are here trying to find their family. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and, more importantly, kind to one another. But, guys, don't forget, 4:15, we've got more coming back on Sebastian Rogers. We've got a lot coming out, and we just learned yesterday that Katie has finally admitted Sebastian is deceased and he's not going to be coming home. And that's what she admitted on his birthday. On his birthday. So, very shocking information, not surprising, but we will show you, and we're going to go over Susan Smith and Letitia Stout and Courtney Bartholomew to show you the real Katie Proudfoot. Don't miss it. We'll see you soon.